Because in between the 10 years that I was here, I've quit this and did something else. Went back to corporate America and said, hey, I can't do this anymore. Then came back. So to be here today is a special day for me because I know I had no intentions on meeting you. My intentions was to go get my paycheck and hide somewhere in corporate America and not deal with people. I don't know if you've ever felt like that. When you say enough is enough, has anybody ever felt like that before?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I want to encourage you about today. Is first of all, is just saying you got to forget the past. You know, like they say in some sports, you got to have a short memory. Like a quarterback in the NFL, if they throw an interception, they got to be able to have a short memory, right? And I think in sales, you got to have a short memory. Because if you don't, you'll linger on things that can keep you down practically for years. You can get in a slump. And you can remember all the rejection and all the pain and all the things that have taken you to get here, and then you forget about all the things that you're trying to do in the past, do in the future. So one of the things I want to encourage you to do is, first of all, I have a few things that I'm going to share. And I've written them down just for you, so if you want to take notes, you can. And I'll share some pointers with you that I've learned. But I wanted to ask you a question. Have you ever heard the term coachable? Somebody's just coachable? What does that term mean to you when you say a person is coachable?
They take instruction. They're able to take suggestions and use them.
Right. Take suggestions and use them. Is there an age limit on coachability? No. Is there a timeline on coachability? Being coachable is one of the greatest attributes you can have. And I want you to write that down. Just being coachable. The ability to learn from whatever circumstance, whatever situation you're in. Now, most of us are veterans in what we do, right? Veterans. Been it. I know Darwin's been in it for years and years and years. This is all I know Darwin from. But yet, when you're coachable, you're able to still pick up those little nuggets to say, you know what? That's something I can use. Well, I haven't used that in years. Let me get back to that. I think that's one of my greatest attributes. Although I've been speaking for over 15 years, one of the things that I still have is a desire to learn each and every day. I still keep, like you said, when I came here before, I was a kid. I'm a kid at heart.
I was exaggerating.
No, I'm a kid at heart. I was young.
Yeah, you were younger.
I was in my 30s when I came.
You were younger. Yeah, you was a little boy.
Yeah, I was a kid. Now I realize I was a kid. And I go, man, when I look at videos from 15 years ago, I'm like, wow, I was in my early 30s when I left corporate America and started on that journey. And just like you, I have something I'm trying to accomplish. And I wasn't finished yet. And I've tried to run from it. I've tried to hide from it. I've tried to leave it alone. I've been upset with it. I've quit. I said, I can't do it. I said, it's too tough. It's too hard. I can't stand people. I don't want to deal with people. I don't want to talk to nobody. I'm going to go sit in a cubicle and be quiet. I don't know if you've ever felt like that. But something keeps pulling me back, pushing me out here to be on my own. I work for 3 Fortune 500 companies. I work for Johnson & Johnson, one of the largest medical companies in the world. I work for FedEx, the largest transportation company in the world, and I work for Lanier, another Fortune 500 company, and always in sales. And in those 3 companies, one thing has been consistent in all 3. I've been in the top 5%, top 10% of each company that I've ever been in. I've also been the top salesperson in the entire country for one of those companies, and in the top 2% in the other company. So I've done what most people have never done. I've excelled in 3 different environments, 3 different industries, and been the best of the best in those industries. And what I did was I took that information and said, what about this information is teachable? What can you share with other people and what can you walk away from with it that can go on your own and duplicate what you did for somebody else? Because that's an important thing. It's easy to do it for somebody else, but can you do it for yourself? Can you be coachable? So the first thing that you have to do, that I believe, is you have to start today. Okay? Start today. After you're coachable, you have to start today. I want everybody to snap their hands over their head like this. Just snap. You have changed your life today. Anything bad that you've had, don't worry about it. I don't want you to live in the past anymore. So they say, remember the past, right? Live when? Today. And plan for what? Tomorrow. Plan for the future. But most of us either live in the past or we live in the future. But we forget about today. The best day of our lives is when?
Right now.
Right now. Who has a better day planned than today? I feel sorry for you. Because if you're planning for tomorrow, you may not know what tomorrow's going to bring. So you better live in the moment. So if we live in the moment and we live for today, and today is our best day, then we want to put our best results in now. That means the people that we meet today, the things that we do today are what count. So we remember the past, live for today. Most of us are saying, man, yesterday was such a good time. Oh, what is tomorrow going to bring? And we're worried about one of the two instead of living for today. So we got to start today. That's the first thing. Then it says most of us can be negatively affected by our circumstances, especially in sales. How many of you have dealt with rejection before? That little thing. Yeah, that little thing. How many of you said, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of this? You run into people and you say, man, these people are just stupid. They don't get it, right? And it doesn't matter how long you've been in the business to get that. I know when I started this business, I wanted to become a speaker, and one day I was out at one of those informational meetings, like a sales conference sort of thing for salespeople, and a guy named Tom Hopkins was giving this message. And we paid $100 a ticket. He came into our office, his salespeople sold us on coming to this program. And when we got there, it was about 3,000 people in the audience. And we had paid $100 a ticket. So the first thing I did was I looked at the audience and I started, you know how we do, right? Started working the numbers. I said, that's $300,000 worth of revenue that was generated in this room. And then in the back of the room, he had his books, tapes, and that. And he sold another $30,000, $40,000 worth of stuff. And I said, wow. This guy generated about $350,000 in this room. And that's piqued my interest from a financial standpoint, that this was an industry that I could do what I wanted to do in. But I had to learn the ropes. I had to become coachable. And I started seeking out, how do you do it? What do you do? I started joining the National Speakers Association. I started joining all kind of associations and groups and talking to people. And they said, well, the first thing you need to do is write a book. I said, I can't write a book. I graduated with a 1.9 GPA in high school, can barely read. So I said, can you write my book for me? And I started going to other people asking them to do stuff for me. And everybody said, no, if you're going to do it, you got to do it yourself. And that's what it comes down to. First of all, being coachable. Second of all, taking the responsibility for ourselves. That anything that we're going to do, we're going to control ourselves. And then once we take the ability to control ourselves, we are going to make it see through to the end.